Not that they're even just good, they're not even good enough by a lot. Basically, we want to see $1 million trading every minute, every now and then. Most of them are just way too weak. Okay, yeah, I can see what I look like in the stream here. I'm a little bit dark, that's for sure. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit. Settings. Adjust for low light. Then that makes my shirt a little bit too dark, bright or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, what would make? Well, I could turn on this battery powered light, I guess. Give me some more light. Like looking weird. The shining. But we show up every day just in case. Oh, of course, yeah. Good morning, Marcus. What have you been in lately, you guys? Tell me about a decent position that you got in. Either one you're in or one you were in. Something that either worked out or didn't work out. Anything. Just tell me what you guys have been trading. Carl and Marcus, do you guys ever do, day trade scalping or day trading? Or do you guys, are you focusing on swing trading? What do you go after, Marcus? What's your what's your style du jour? General share screen. Okay. I like to have the picture of me somewhere up here. Why does it not show it? Uh, my screen share clip or video clip. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I wanted to see a day swinging options. And is that on stocks or on the markets? And what was the other thing I was just gonna look? Yeah. Yesterday, yep, there it is. So my question is, did it make a separate video of me? Doesn't look like it did. Okay, corner, and I look good. I like it. Now, how come I have such good brightness on my face in this video? Go down. It might be because the outside light is muted today by a little bit of a storm going on. Day swinging options, Marcus. Stocks or the markets? In other words, QQQ SPY or stocks? Both. Okay. And then my next question to you was, um, do you run a futures account for the market trading? And that would be something like my recommendation would be Tradeovate. Although, of course, you could get an Apex account going, I suppose, if you get it qualified, which Bob does. Because futures are very responsive. I'm guessing. Oh, here's the other thing I was going to ask you. And when you do that, are you picking like 7+ day DTE, or are you doing minimum DTE? Or when it comes to the market, are you always gravitating towards 0 DTE? Because the markets now offer 0 DTEs. Trying to think about, I have some things in my mind. I just want to make sure you're optimizing. In the recording, record video during screen sharing. Place video next to the shared screen in the recording. And so if I don't do that, it'll be on its separate. Not if you're talking to me. Which one do you do, Marcus? Okay, yeah, I was talking to you. I was talking about, I don't know, which one are you referring to when I was talking about Tradeovate and futures and Apex? So not that, and you're using options. trade stocks on the market. And my question to you then, I think that's what you were saying. And so my question to you then is on the stocks and the option market that you do trade, the options that you use, what expiration levels, what expiration durations are you picking and trading? Okay, so now, and then yesterday that was 675 megabytes. An hour stream. 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, but you do say that you're day trading that. Well, you say day swing options. To me, that's day trading, and that's my technique of day swinging. Like we talked about that before. Oh, all three. Oh, okay. So day trading and swing trading, and then you do it with options. And I presume therefore then, long, like buying options. Have you gotten down to experimenting with the credit spread version of the same? You must be getting curious about it at this point. Not yet. But as you can see, right, through classes and my demonstrations, what I found is you get twice the return as the stock move. So that's the equivalent of a very liquid option market. If you were to get an option, that's about what you could expect on the return for a very liquid option market. And probably if you were to get 80 delta, like I always recommend on a swing trade. So it's equivalent return as an option. And then you got that break even line, yeah, that continues to go in your favor every day. Um, whenever you get into something and then it doesn't take off and it starts to go in the other direction, what is your method there? Do you cut right away? Do you give it a stop loss on the daily chart, low of day, stuff like that? Yes. Okay. Then I think if you were to practice getting the mechanics down on the put credit spreads, I think it will match the same style. And oh, so when you see me put a put credit spread alert, sometimes you get the long option. That's fine. Although sometimes when I put the put credit spread, just so you know, sometimes when I put the put credit spread alert, I put it because it's so much safer and it's a rockier, maybe even less confirmed entry point, just so you know. Um, but yeah, try to get the mechanics of the put credit spread thing down. Give it a try sometime. And then instead of going long with an option on something, presuming it's something big and very liquid, then get the put credit spread and see what happens. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. It'll be weird and different. There you go. All right. Good morning, you guys. Good morning, Randy. Let's see. So the market tomorrow is going to be reporting CPI inflation in the morning, 8:30 a.m. So the market today is going to be, very low volume. Look at the volume lately. I mean, it's really pulled back on volume. Do you see here? I mean, like we've been at very heightened levels. This is the lowest volume. Yesterday was the lowest volume on the market since, wow, it goes way back. Lowest volume on the market since, that could be a Christmas. That's a half day. Yeah, that doesn't count. Yesterday, lowest volume since September 21. So this is strange. This is an anomaly. There's a lot of upward price movement with lack of volume. Do you guys remember what that means? Volume is the lie detector of the stock market, volume. And what it means is the move is not true. Increased volume or strong volume even, conviction means the move is true. So a lot of what we're seeing on the market is coming from manipulation, which can mean it doesn't necessarily mean market makers going wah pulling strings. It can mean that price is adjusting not because of supply and demand, which is the case, but because of perhaps news, and in the case of like the growth market, we could see all that upward movement with lack of volume on the total market, because it could be coming from what do they call the Fantastic Six or Seven? It could be coming from Apple, Microsoft, could be coming from just a couple of the top stocks. And I do believe that is the case. So we're all at the mercy of the top stocks right now. And if we go to IWM, which is small caps, look at that. We have a totally reverse story. We're moving down. But even small caps, therefore, are going to get to a bounce point. But they might be in contrary motion to each other. So what I'm saying is if you get into something and it's not one of the top dogs, it's probably going down. Like let's pick something that's just medium level, like CMG, Chipotle. Yeah, see, Chipotle's been chopping sideways and even kind of going down the last 2 days. All stocks besides the top dogs, the Fantastic Six or Seven, are going down slash sideways. The stock market is not going up, guys. Now those guys might peg it up. Oh, there's a QQQ equal weight. That'll do it. Let's see. NASDAQ equal QQQE. There we go. This is the real market positioning right now. We're not at all-time highs when you weight all the stocks together. We didn't even break all-time high recently. When you look at the market as everybody, like participation from everybody, like how's everybody doing? Because we trade everybody. We're very concerned with the everybody factor. So let's go to SPY equal rated 500 equal. Oops. Equal 500 RSP. Let's see. There's two of them. Equal weight ETF RSP, and then you have RSPEE. What's the difference? Okay, we'll take a look. Okay, see, same story on RSP. We didn't make a new all-time high. And then RSPE, what's the difference there? Okay, no, it's just a lesser liquid version of the same. Yeah, so QQQE. Can we just type SPY-E? That would be so much easier to remember. No, sons of bitches. RSPE. Find out what you mean to me. No, but anyway, it would be just RSP. So that gives you a really good picture of where we're truly at. Compare that to SPY. Watch. Yeah, that's quite a bit different. And then QQQE versus QQQ. Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of top-sided market froth. And that's really important, like I'm saying, because we're in the other stuff. I mean, yeah, I have an Apple Iron Condor. I mean, based on this, what we just found out, I shouldn't have an Iron Condor, should I? I should be more bullish on the big ones. I have a Netflix Iron Condor, a Microsoft Iron Condor, and an Apple Iron Condor. So I'm sideways betting on the top dogs, which are moving up. If we could isolate those, Microsoft, Well, actually, I've made an okay decision on Microsoft, and then Apple. See, it's working in my favor. That's fine because of yesterday's news, and then Netflix. I'm doing okay on all those. But well, then if it's not that, then what the hell is moving the market up? Is it Nvidia? What is with this data? Oh, is that because of the split? That's probably because of the split. And there's a dividend today. The dividend right after the split. Wow, they're trying to keep you on through the split. Very interesting. Just so you'll get a penny. That's interesting. And then Amazon. So what is it pushing up the markets then? Something has to be flying at incredible new highs. Was it Nvidia though? Yeah, Nvidia is a big part of it. It must be Nvidia. But outside of Nvidia, what am I missing? Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, Netflix. What am I missing? Apple. What am I missing? In the Fantastic Six. I'm missing one. Magnificent Seven stocks. Yes, what are they? Amazon, Meta. I'm missing Meta. You guys pay attention. Anyway, Meta is similarly also not at all-time highs. So it could be Micron. Micron is definitely pushing up, yes. Let's look at the holdings QQQ over on the Invesco website. We'll get the top holdings, top 10 holdings. Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, Broadcom. Really? That's interesting. 4.5%. Yeah. Broadcom has been making bigger highs, higher highs. Oh, Google. Did I miss Google? I think I missed Google. Google's way up there as well, very elevated. And then right after that, and that's about a 5% allocation. That's one of the largest between the Class A and Class C shares. Costco. How the hell is Costco on the Nasdaq list? I don't know. And then Tesla. Yeah, that should have been one we should have checked out. But Costco definitely is roaring. All right. So that's one you would get a put credit spread allocation in because that's relative strength, big time. And Tesla's still weak. So it's not coming from Tesla. So that's the top 10 in the queues. And it's coming from a lot from Nvidia and Costco, believe it or not. Um, believe it or not. So anyway, tomorrow morning is CPI inflation numbers, and then at 2 p.m. tomorrow will be the Fed FOMC report and talk. I forget if it's a decision or just an update. Let me see. No, it's an interest rate decision. It's a decision point. So today's volume will probably be very muted. You can typically take these days off, but I don't. Um, and there's always something kind of interesting going on in the market. But you'll find that today is not an action day, although you might get very nice. You might finally hit, some profit maturity points in some of your positions, and you should be taking profits and just managing your portfolio. And there may be some opportunities that on weak volume offer good entries. So, for those reasons, for swing trades, for those reasons, we show up and we care even about low volume days. But typically these days are non sequitur. And tomorrow the market's going to rock. And Bob just bought more Nvidia as an investment. That's one of the greatest things you could do. Although post split on Nvidia, probably we're going to see depreciation. Although, we'll see. So now that it's lower priced, you can sell covered calls. It starts to attract wheelers. It brings in more money. People who can't afford 100 shares can now afford 100 shares, so they can do the wheel. Even poor man covered calls and cash secured puts, the whole wheeling thing can go on. So that's going to attract another, 10, 20, 30% volume and liquidity on NVIDIA moving forward. Let's see if the volumes are going higher post split. We'll have to see because It's just kind of getting started. But in my opinion, I think volumes are going to be more elevated, remains pretty elevated, but maybe not today. They need to correct this data point. It just looks absurd. All right, market is opening in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Had the rest of a cigar yesterday. Hanging out on the patio. Got a hammock. So now we have a nice patio set. You know, those kinds you sit on the outdoor patio set, like the L sectional and all that. Um, and a table to sit at, high table, which looks over at the views, and a hammock, which is so cool. And the hammock is so comfortable and relaxing. And so we were out there last night. Oh, and we got the smart light outdoor patio lights, smart lights, which react to music and change colors. And it's just the freaking best, man. I mean, in the Bahamas, and it was clear skies. So you lay in the hammock or you just look up, you see stars, you see the satellites going by. In the distance, you can see the, light from an island, the lights from a island resort. It's a very small island with a resort on it, and the lights, you know, twinkling in the Caribbean water. It's great. And I'm only 30 minutes or 20-minute flight to Miami. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And tax free, no income tax over here. And I get the foreign tax deduction of 105,000. So, you know, oh yeah. Puerto Rico is another one. There's a couple of those tax shelter places, but the reason I picked this one is because it's so close. And I get the very high quality feed. I'm right by the cable, the transatlantic, internet cable. So I have a direct feed from right here that goes right through Miami and right up to New York City. And I get the same feed that everybody gets in Miami. It's the exact same one piped in. So I'm fine. I'm fine. You got hurricanes down here, but you got hurricanes in Florida too. I'll experience my first hurricane this summer probably. Here we go. Not looking forward to it. Any tips there, Randy? Carl, you're in Florida too, are you not? Run. And Marcus, where are you at? I think you said and you've said it many times, but I want to say maybe you're in the Carolinas. I don't remember at the moment. Gonna need the reminder. All right, things are moving. Right out of the gate, we're about 50-50, and mid caps a little bit more red. Growth with some movement up. Let's see, we need a little more time. That's what we're now 1 minute in. See what my meters show. Yeah, you don't stay to watch. You're in Dallas. Okay. Oh, Carl's in Dallas. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Bob, where are you? Let's do that before. Are you a West Coaster? Yep, looks like this is going to be a somewhat of a boring day. But yeah, that's what people said is hell no, I'm in North Carolina. Nice. Yes, we've talked about that before. I know one of you is in North Carolina, and that'd be you. Um, yeah, we're at about 50-50. Let's take a look at MRUS. That'd be Marcus. limited. No, I'm just kidding. Marcus is saying, what? No, MRS, no. Yeah, that does look like a pretty beautiful chart, but it's kind of pulled back after a pop recently. ARM. Am I in ARM? I've been in ARM a couple times. I'm not in it right now. Yeah, ARM just keeps going up. Probably a perfectly fine time to get into ARM. I could have locate a little on ARM, I think. I'm gonna try to stick to this new rule that I'm working on, which is to only enter a put credit spread. Well, in a cheat entry, but ideally even on a strong panic pullback, even breakdown moment, and then the same thing with a call credit spread. All right, so how are things moving today? Who's up? Who's down? AFRM is doing very good. Let's take a look at that. Well, all right. Continues to go down, down, down. Today's my first ZAG day on AFRM. So this is a perfect illustration, Randy, of what I was talking about yesterday. Look, I got into AFRM back here, and it's been nothing but underwater and under my break even for, look, this has been, remember we talked about number of days, 28 days. All right. And we even talked about 24 days. But the reason why I'm allowing a little bit longer on this is because it's not 45 DTE. It's I've got 38 days left. It's the July 19, but that was a larger runway, about 60 days back when I opened it. So anyway, it's finally gone the other way. And yesterday it was underwater by, let's say, minus 20%. Okay. So in just one day, one zag in the right direction, and I'm now at 37% plus 37% to max profit. The day's just beginning. Those options are going to start. There it is, 40%. They're going to start to become efficiently priced. And by the end of the day, will have gained some theta pressure as well, and maybe even approach 50%. So I'll probably put in a 50% order. Might as well do it right now while I'm sitting with you. Yeah, I have 7 of those, so I can afford to just do one and put it out there. My difference was $1.26 between 71, so that's about 30, 40, 55 cents. So half would be 27 cents approximately. An order to sell one at 27 cents, and we'll wait to see if that fills today. And if it does, then I'll get more aggressive and try 26 and start taking it up. Right now it's at 30% because we got a little bit of a pullback, a strong pullback off of the open, which is to be expected. But anyway, I've zagged into the profit zone, just like we talk about. I got into this FTAI, and it is at almost 100% minus right now. What's going on there? All right, that's just inefficiency because it's perfectly fine. We ignore that for the moment and let it settle in, liquidity wise. Same thing on TMDX, which is actually in a good spot, and it's showing minus 50%. No, these are just like inefficiencies. This is why you kind of got to know and draw the line, on your charts so that when you're pulling these up, you don't have a panic attack on some of these, because to be at that much down on that is not correct. Maybe GE is. Let's see. No, see, even GE says I'm at minus 83%. That's incorrect because it's sliding right along the break even. Unless it's increasing in volatility, which it doesn't look like it is. CLSK. Now this one, I have to watch out for CLSK. This one had a nice breakdown day over there. CLSK, and that's at minus 45%. That's more correctly priced. So I stay in. But like 3 of my bottom 10, the bottom 3 strongest negative move dollars on the day are all incorrectly priced right now. So you can't believe that. So it helps to know how this stuff works and have a lot of positions going. I recommend a minimum of 20 positions when you're doing this. Oh, okay. And what is this one? Root. Root at 83%. It's a iron condor and just could not get into the right zone for me. Never zagged. Look at that. So sometimes it does happen. I got an iron condor right back here, and all it's been doing is sliding along the put side the whole time. But I'm still only at minus 83% on root. Where is it? Minus 83%. And but probably will cut at end of day today or tomorrow. And I've overstayed. I only have a couple days left. I probably will cut today, just because I've overstayed 21 day to expiration. Which should have been back. Stay here, right back. It's probably very similarly priced today as it was 21 days ago. So my discretionary override was okay. All right. Looking at the growth picks here, we have about 60% red. So is the market red? Let's go take a look. The market's not red, but it really is. If we go QQQE, maybe we're going to see red. Actually, we see strong buying. So this is odd that our picks overall are red, but we do have some good ones here. Bros, let's see. Bros looks so good. I think that was a shares trade we were talking about the other day. ARM, Emrys, CAMT. These are the ones at the top of the list. By the way, I posted my Thinkorswim scan of that. This one right here, which is my main master list. This one. I posted that in options as passive income. I think that's where I posted it. Yeah. Options as passive income channel in the Discord. So you can pick that up and import it into your Thinkorswim to get these top picks. And what it is essentially is stocks that are up 20% or more in 1 month or 30% or more in 2 months with a cutoff of 3.4% ADR or higher. So good stocks that move. And I think there's some liquidity requirements as well, maybe 1 million shares or 100,000 shares per day average, something like that. Schwab having serious login problems. Yeah? I'm not having anybody else. Somebody just posted about that. After, oh, you can't log in? Oh, interesting. After a ER or an important news pop on a stock that's like an ER, that has an ER effect, if there's a big gap up and if it has to be a significant gap up, significant just means greater than a common average gap up, which can be anywhere between 1 and 4% probably. So more than 5% or 4%. Anytime that happens, the sentiment starts baking in if it continues. Oh yeah, even Apex, all prop firms are impact. Rhythmic is completely locked up. Nobody can trade. Interesting. I wonder if that's causing a little bit of the slide on the market. Let's see here. It's not much of a slide on the S&P, yes. Anyway, my point is very interesting that, and CAMT, this is perfect. Anything that I could pull up probably would have been perfect, but this is a great example. While I have a square on right here, that first day, it was a catalyst day pivot breakout. It broke pivot on catalyst to the upside. That would have been an excellent entry point, especially for a put credit spread. It would have looked something like this, I suppose. But my point here is that once that happens, the price usually takes off in that direction for the sentiment run of the ER. However, it always comes with digestion and backfilling, and that's what you see here on the next day. We get backwards and then upwards and then a little bit of movement here. You would have been, hard pressed to think, man, is this thing ever going to take off? Right? And yet it did. And like I said before, interesting if you just surgically, microscopically dissect these things, moves happen on average once in 10 days. And they almost never happen, therefore, back to back. Very rare. If you had a coin that would flip heads 9 out of 10 times, and tails one out of 10 times, what are the odds that you could flip it tails twice in a row? Very rare. So what you see here is you see a big move. I mean, this is a move. I wouldn't say big, but the unusual move. It's an unusual move in the right direction, but then followed by choppity choppity chop and a little bit of coming back and then tiny bit of up and down and tiny bit of up and down, tiny bit of up and down, tiny bit up and down, and then a big move down, followed by digestion, followed by digestion, then big move up, followed by chippity choppity chippity choppity. Yes, the price progresses, but not much. I mean, if you really look at it, I'm going to show you something interesting. Look at this. Get rid of all these lines and then zoom up. Let's say you were able to sell on this day at this high. How many days do you have to wait to be able to confidently sell at a higher price? Let's take a look. So it digests, it moves up then down, it moves up then down. I don't really think any of those days in particular you'd be selling. It gaps open way up, gets you excited, pulls back down. You're like, crap. Comes back up and closes there. Moves up, then down. Gaps up, moves down, moves up. It's really, playing your heart like a fiddle. Gaps down, moves down, then up, and you're excited, and then it moves down. I think you still, because it's playing you. Like these are this is like when the cat is pawing you days. And then it opens up here and then sells off all day, and then you're like, oh fuck. And then the next day sells off hard down this way. I challenge you to figure out mentally how you get out on any of these days, because I do not think you do, if you didn't get out on this day. In other words, if you subscribe to a philosophy that didn't get you out on this day, then that philosophy is not getting you out on any of these days. And look what happened. You're all the way back to that part of the candle there, and maybe at the close of the day, a little bit higher, but it took 16 days of your money sitting there fucking around when if you just understood the principle that moves are rare, 1 in 10 days is a move, and that you're not going to get any worthwhile price improvement for so many days that it's not worth keeping your money in it. And so even if the rules of the say the put credit spread system say you're getting accelerated gains, and so you get out because of the rule of the accelerated gains, or if it hits 50% plus max profit so early on, and you can take and you can get out at 50% max profit, even though that's in the rules of, for example, the put credit spreads, it's literally right on the chart. The chart is literally saying, hey, look, this was a rare moment, idiot. This is not going to be a frequent happening. Now, in that moment, you might be thinking the next day is going to look like this. But the fact is that 90% of the time, it looks more like this. Pullback digestion, pussyfooting. That's perfect. Instead of pawing, pussyfooting around with your capital. And so you should be okay with exiting here, even if this occurs. You should say to yourself, you shouldn't kick yourself at all for selling back here if this day occurs, because you know the statistics. You know that, yeah, that's going to happen 1 out of 10 times, but you're not going to stay in 9 out of 10 times so that 1 out of 10 times you can get an extra 20, 30% juice than what you already could have got the previous day. It doesn't make sense to tie up your capital for so many more days. So that's why, we have the share swing trading rules, which state that between the first 1 and 5 days, take out 50% on any significant move, and then move your stop to break even. That's all part of, and the put credit spread system, accelerated profit slash plus 50%, get all out. That's all part of statistically tested probability that the move is going to be all you're going to really get. And as far as compounding capital goes, the best decision you can make is just to get out. So, you know, don't feel bad if something doesn't, if something continues to take off the next day and you got out, you still made the right decision. I could probably tell you guys that, 5 more times over the next year, but it like really needs to sink in. Is to sink into the point where you're able to act on it. All right, the markets are failing out right now. Let's take a look. I wonder if it has something to do with the Schwab is down for a lot of users, it says. It probably has something to do with that. Still no login. Yeah. This and look at the market. Yeah. Tomorrow's the big day. This is just dilly-dallying market movement. Yeah, this is perfectly fine. Can't get into your Schwab either. What do you guys need to be into your Schwab? For? I mean, good. You've verified that Schwab is down. What's interesting now is that Schwab has merged with TD Ameritrade, if Schwab is down, a larger portion of the liquidity in the market is down. But nobody cares. Today's a low liquidity day, guys. It's a low volume day. Tomorrow's the big one with interest rates. But like I was saying this morning, I feel the market's very frothy and being led by the top dogs. When we really looked into it, it turns out to be Nvidia and Costco propping up the Qs, mostly in Broadcom, Nvidia, Broadcom, and Costco. Is Broadcom AVGO or Bro? No, it's AVGO. Yeah, yeah, it's way up there, and their earnings are tomorrow night. By the way, AVGO. If they're not good, um, and it's one of the three that's propping up the whole market, then we'll probably see the market start to snap. Right now, the market is a bit reliant on Nvidia, Avgo, and Costco. The others are not in significant points or doing anything particularly strong. The strength is coming from those three stocks. Stree. Those stree stocks. All right. That reason I'm out. Magical Pharmaceuticals having a good day. IBRX. And we had a day that was just like almost all green yesterday. So today we're just going to give it back. It's going to digest. Digestion is part of finding out how much of a green move was bullshit. It's testing the hands of those who got in the prior day. Are they truly long term or are they just parasites? By the way, we are the parasites. So uh, you know, I say that with all due respect. But the parasites are the fleas on the dog, and the long-term investors, even forever hold investment money that comes into particular stocks, those are the dogs. Those are the dogs. We are not even the tail of the dog wagging it or anything. And we're not even, I don't know, a monkey on the back of a dog. We're the fleas on the dog being carried in a certain direction. TV saying some quotes are delayed 15 minutes. Interesting. Does this mean like am I, oh, wait a minute. I do have a wavy line. What does that mean? No, nothing. What does that mean? NASDAQ, the real-time data. Well, it says it's real-time data, but if it's delayed, okay, that's interesting. So maybe what we're seeing isn't correct, but what I'm seeing, I think, is correct. If TD Ameritrade's feed and the Q's feed is correct. That would be what a strange and interesting thing that would be. A day where the market is falling, but we can't see it. How fucked up would that be? The market is falling, but we can't see it. That would be crazy. It looks like Apple is rallying, guys. Let me take a look at this. Apple's rallying strong. Right now, I guess on the back of all of the updates they gave yesterday, people are excited. It's going to break all-time highs. I might have to release my call side on that. That's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to release it right here. Right, good. Now, probably my put side is, yeah, 72% profit. Let that continue. Okay, so now I change this to capacity to say that I got out. Right on, guys. This is, a nothing day, even though things are moving around and being read on you. I wouldn't think too much of it unless something strange is going on. So other than that, yeah, we're up to date. And I'll see you back in the group. All right. See you there. You bet. Have a good morning, everybody. Trade smarter.